see me play some music.
By the way, I having been in a few studios in your time, you don't mind if we just casually enter into the conversation here, Jerry. I'm Jerry Riopelle, carrying on conversations here before we even introduce him. But do we really have to introduce Jerry Riopelle, whose name, by the way, was as familiar to music lovers back in the 60s as Bruce Springsteen's was, because you and Bruce kind of kicked it off here.
Yeah, a lot of acts broke in Phoenix.
Bruce was big in New Jersey and Phoenix.
Yeah, well, when I first heard about him, it was he was just getting well known in Phoenix.
And when did you run into this Tom Gardner guy?
Well, it's been a couple of years now.
Stroke of fate.
Yeah.
The director of Beamz Interactive, creator and founder of Beamz, Jerry Riopelle. And we were just going over, when was that day? You said 5 years ago, at least, maybe
yeah,
even
maybe
longer.
even 6.5.
And so I came over with a mutual friend over to your house, and you had this very large electronic device that is now far less large. Tell me what your role is in this. We know about the producer and the musician.
Well, I got to go back a couple of years. I was picking up music, and my piano lessons were in direct conflict with your show, Wallace and Ladmo, back in the early 70s. So I quit piano for a while, and then the next year...
An excellent choice.
Well, I've gone on to greatness, but I pick up Jerry Riopelle's music the next year, so I get back into music, and then I meet Jerry actually on that 2005 concert at Celebrity Theater where I saw the Beamz be played. And I
really get your attention.
It got my attention, and that was about 4 years ago or so. But I ended up contacting Jerry and putting some money in, getting some more money raised, and kind of playing the game.
Well, and when you're talking about raising money for a brand new, originally created musical instrument, you think, okay, well, wait a minute, what has that got to do with us? The fact that it's $199, the model that you can take home, and we're going to tell you how in just a moment. But isn't this a variation, though, on that instrument that you used to hear in spooky movies called the theremin?
Actually, it's an entirely different concept than the theremin. One of our composers has a theremin, and we've made samples of the theremin and put them in the Beamz. But
that was electronic, and you played it with your hands.
Well, you do play it with your hands, and you do make music in the air, but it's an entirely different concept. And with the Beamz, you're actually breaking laser lights, and so you're interrupting the laser lights, which causes a switch to happen in the software. And the real heart of the musical matter is the software.
And the instrument that you brought here today, is that the $199 model?
Yes, it is.
See, that's what I can't believe, because when we're talking about a brand new instrument and lasers and electronics, for crying out loud, you can hardly get anything at Radio Shack for $199.
Well, that's how wrong I was, because when I became an investor in the company, the price point was $600. So it's gotten a lot better.
Also, yes, sure, it's fun to play music, especially when you don't have to read music and you don't have any particular skills or experience going into it. But I love the therapy end of this. Talk to us about that.
Well, I think the more people playing music, the better off we all are. And it's just good for you. It's good for you genetically now. That's been proven. In fact, Dr. Barry Bittman, who's a world leader in mind-body wellness, is extremely supportive of this instrument and this concept, and they use it at Phoenix Children's Hospital. They have two different systems there. One you can put over a bed, so if you can't get up and play it, you can lean back and play it.
By the way, anything that I don't ask these folks about the Beamz, B-E-A-M-Z, you can ask them at Chandler Fashion Center. This weekend. You can see the information there. We'll also remind you about it. And it's also going to be available to you to buy and take home. But if you want to really question whether you could possibly ever play music on a laser instrument without any knowledge at all of lasers or music, I'm going to in just a moment. And I've never tried this before, so let's experiment together with Beamz on the Pat McMahon Show.